not being 10 minutes away from you. So I'm going to steal you, and you're going to come up to Northern Virginia and live in my closet. Because it's just it's a big closet. I can move my shoes out of the way, I'll put them under the bed. But yeah, you can just telecommute to all of your classes. I'm sure the English professors, you don't mind Dr. Seacrest if she just telecommutes to all the classes. See, it's fine. There you go. You got it. Last year we lost as if he died, but he went away. Our resident grumpy grammarian. And I was very worried that we weren't going to be able to replace him and the magazine would be riddled with errors because no one's quite as anal retentive as Patrick Hooker. But I found somebody. I found someone who's far less disagreeable just on a personal level, but was just as detail-oriented and just as committed to making sure that the magazine was wonderful and pristine. And for that, Neil Buck, are you graduating? Okay, we have to stay around for at least a half a year and help out Kristen because you really are an asset. He's always comes to meetings and he always sits there and he's quiet, but then he'll interject that one marvelous thing that just needed to be said, and here you go. That's all you need, And if I could have 18 other staffers like him, I have a really big staff, but unnecessarily large staff. But I'm going to miss you. Around the room. See, I didn't plan anything to say, so this is kind of.
You're doing just fine.
Oh, thanks. I got a couple more staff. Unfortunately, a lot of them couldn't make it tonight. But this year we actually did have a ton of new staffers at the beginning of the year. And slowly but surely, they all kind of dwindled away. But Alicia Morris stuck around. And actually, what was fantastic about Alicia is she didn't have to be at production nights. X109 production night is every Wednesday for about a month, and it's torture. You're there for 6 or 7 hours, and it sucks. Because half the time, something's not ready to go on the page, and half the time the designers are taking a really long time, and so there's nothing there to edit, and I know Neil got a lot of homework done waiting for stuff. But Alicia didn't come to be on the design staff, and she really wasn't there to copy edit. She was just there to help out wherever she could. And that she stayed some nights as late as she did, just waiting for someone to need her help, was astounding. And you're going to be so fantastic being in charge of SMADs next year. You really are, and I'm sure Rachel's already told you that, but you're just, don't even worry about it. You're going to be great. I also very, very quickly wanted to thank Dr. Seacrest, who, I'm sure everybody loves their advisors, but X109 has just got a series of wonderful advisors who always come to the meetings when they need to, and sometimes when they don't need to. And Dr. Seacrest would regale us with stories about, well, Dale, the drunken radio engineer. She just told me tonight. And but he was always there to lend, especially that first year, and every year after that, really. You've always been there to help me. And it's really hard for me to ask for other people's help. So when I need it, and when I came to you, it was always, even when it was, I want to change the magazine to an annual, and he was against it, and Professor Adams, our advisor at the time, was vehemently against it, but you still heard me out, and you still heard out the staff. And he was always there to lend that air of authority to X109 that we really needed when we were trying to turn ourselves around. For that, I really don't know how to thank you. I don't think I can. But it's going to be really strange not being in charge of the magazine next year, just because I've spent, so very much time. And you've all spent, and everybody I've talked about tonight spent so much time. And a lot of them will be around next year to do it, and it'll be an entirely new staff. And I hope that everyone that will be around next year treats them as wonderfully as we've been treated by the rest of student media. Because I was really green and I had no idea what I was doing, and you guys were just, at least, those of you guys who were there at the time. And the new people that keep coming in, it's a wonderful organization to be a part of. And I know personally I'm going to miss it so very much, but I know that when Kristen takes over, you're going to welcome her the same way you all welcomed me. So thank you very, very much.